When he turned 16 and got his license, we allowed him to use an old car from a relative. At that time, my son had around $5,000 in savings. We made him a promise saying that we'd match whatever he ended up with at graduation. Reasonably, we thought he'd maybe double that to $10,000 through jobs and we'd match for a reasonable $20,000 car. He now has $35,000 to use for a car. He said he did have a little over $10,000 but that he bought smart stock options in April and now will have around $35,000 after tax. Personally, I don't think he did anything besides get stupid lucky. He is insisting that we follow through with our promise and match that. Financially, it's not a huge dent for us since he also surprised us with a nice merit scholarship that he did earn. The problem arises in that we really don't want to break the promise we made to him, but we also strongly believe that an 18-year-old driving around in a $70,000 car is a very bad idea. He can't even take it to school until his sophomore year, and the insurance on that will be a nightmare. What I am asking is, would the better course of action be to break the promise, and likely face resentment? Or keep it and cough up the money? Thanks in advance for the advice. Edit. Talked about it with my wife. We are considering a couple of avenues ATM including trust or maybe fixed income until it can be used for med school. My son uses Reddit and considering that this is on all now, I'm just waiting for him to see it and burst into my home office room. Edit 2. He's super duper close with his girlfriend. I told her, and she said she'd talk him out of it. Personally, I totally understand where my son is coming from. I wanted a car like that at that age, too, and my parents did end up indulging just a little bit, but now I can see how it was a waste of money. I only used it for 2 years. I'll make an update post in a few days about what happens.
I can say that a $70K car with an 18-year-old driver. You'll be lucky to get insurance, and even if you do, it'll be stupid high.
$50K of that would be so much better off put in savings for his future. Buying a $70K car in cash is such an incredibly stupid idea.
Having saved up $35,000 at 18, with the possibility of that being $70,000, and having a full-ride scholarship, puts him in a better financial position than probably 99.9% of his peers. I would try and talk through that with him, but I guess an 18-year-old who wants to buy a $70,000 car has different priorities than that.
Personally, a $70,000 car is a lot for an 18-year-old. I'd match the $10,000 and put the $15,000 towards a house deposit for him. You honor the money match but don't put so much to a car, which will depreciate and lose value. The tough bit would be the sell.
It's incredibly irresponsible to use all his savings on a car. Even at 18, a $20,000 car is more than enough. Keep your word and match his savings since you can afford to do so, but don't put it towards a car. Put it in a high-interest savings account for him as emergency, house savings for the future, or look into various low-risk investments. He might be peeved about it now, but I guarantee he'd be grateful for that after he graduates college. Most 18-year-olds don't understand financial responsibility. At 18, if I had that kind of money, I probably would have been an idiot and bought some fancy car. I'm 24 now and understand a lot more about financial responsibility. I'd rather get a used $15,000 car and have extra money to grow my assets.
Be a parent and tell him the truth. He's your son, not a mafia godfather.
2 paths forward. IMO, match what he earned from his job, not what he earned from external sources. This seems to be the spirit of what you intended and doesn't reward him for what you consider getting lucky in the markets, not saying you're wrong. I'd just let him know that you only intended to match his job earnings, and you're sorry that it was miscommunicated. Match the $10K towards a car and the remaining $25K in a separate growth account. Reward his investment with another investment. This way you follow through completely but don't have to worry about him buying a $70K car.
Damn, a lot of people aren't reading your question thoroughly. You and your son are both surprised at how much he made in a short amount of time, so work with that. He'll get where you're coming from if you say, "Wow, we didn't expect you to get that," Much money in such a short amount of time. Laugh about it together, and then give him a financial lesson about why it worked and how lucky it was. Then tell him that as his parents, it's your responsibility to make sure he learns from this and makes a smart decision with the car too. Tell him you'll match the full $35,000, but you won't let him use it to buy a $70,000 car. The money is his, but 18 isn't a magic age where all parenting stops. Talk to him about the value of a new-ish used car, and show him what he can get for $20,000, versus $30,000. Help him make a budget for gas, insurance, maintenance. Then help him shop. Put the rest in a trust for him with conditions, and assure him that it is his money, but that it's important to you that he get off on the right foot financially, so this is how it's going to be. If he has money left over from the $35,000 after buying the car, maybe talk to him about a smaller splurge $3K to celebrate the accomplishment, like a computer for school or something more fun.
I'm a big believer in keeping your word to your kids, but in my view, enabling a decision that is financially irresponsible and potentially deadly is by far a worse parental sin. I also don't like that he obviously thought he was going to get one over on you, like you'd just magically conjure up an extra $25,000. Give him the $10,000 and offer to help with insurance if you're feeling generous.
Your kid is an idiot if he saved up all that money and wants to blow it all on a car.